Hi guys, and welcome back to my video. Actually, in one of the last videos I already mentioned that from now I try to make more English videos because I think that many of my information could also be helpful for international people, not only for Germans. So here we go. I wanted to share with you how is it to be positive in Korea, or like actually to be more precise is how is the process if you feel like you have some symptoms? How is the process if you got a positive test, a home test or a doctor's test? And what is the process of the current time and what you have to do? So first of all, in Korea right now, I mean the regulations can always change. You need a positive test, whether it's from a doctor or it's from the home self test kit. If I have a picture, at least like maybe for my negative one, then I can put that here. In some hospitals, if they take with the test kit from you some positive test, the test kit, the Korean name is this. I mean, it could be really helpful, especially some hospitals these days only have a tablet where you have to input your phone number and your AIC number, and then also you have to tap this tab with that word, which is that kit test or that antigen test. And if you have that at a hospital, some hospitals actually also make directly a PCR test. And if you make PCR test, usually you have to pay between 60 to 100k, which is actually pretty much. Even some hospitals charge to up to like 120k or something. It would be best if you have a test kit result positive. In this case, you get the PCR test for free. In other cases, you have to pay that amount, and even if you are positive, you will not get that money back. I mean, I also ask some hospitals like, yeah, but I think I am positive. So if you make PCR test and I'm positive, will I get that money back? But no. In my case, I work in Korea, so I have a Korean insurance, health insurance. So usually you only have to pay for the test kit test, which is up to like I think through 8,000, but mine till now I always paid like a 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 like this. And I also took 3 negative tests. Even the day before I got my positive test, I also had a negative test. So that was also really confusing for me. But if you have some symptoms, I can recommend you to test every day. I mean, in that case, you're the most, like, what is that? Consistent way to prove that you are really sure to not be positive. Because I found also several studies in Korea that they say, yeah, in the throat, the test will be more easily positive, but still we have to take it in the nose. So even you could be positive in the throat, you still could be negative in the nose. So I guess my Monday test that I took, when I got the positive test on Tuesday, I guess my Monday test actually was, if I took it in the throat, already positive. But please don't take it in the throat, especially if you are from an affected person's family, because I went with my partner to the testing facility to get my PCR test, and they test in the test center the family members with the test kit in the nose only. So even you bring some positive test, then they will ask like how you did it. And if you say in the throat, then I guess it is not possible. I mean, we didn't do that because at that time we didn't know. But my partner was negative, and 2 days later he was also positive. Even his PCR test was negative. So it really depends on the situation, I guess. And also how it's spread in your body. So yeah, first of all, you have to get a positive test. I did mine in a hospital close to my workplace. Then I could not go to my work because I was positive. I still had my laptop there. My coworker brought my laptop out. And later with my partner, I went to the facility and I got tested, so I had to go in some line. I had to film some form, which I took with a QR code. You should know like your AIC number, your phone number, but they also write if you don't have an AIC number still, you can skip that part. Your birthday, your name, but also like when your symptoms started, or is there any family members who got infected. You have to go to some registration office booths and they check if you have a positive paper. In my case, I just like, oh yeah, I got it from my doctor that I'm positive. So they just gave me my test. With the test, I had to go to another person. They took my test and I went home. Next day, usually like a 12 hours later, you get your result per SMS. So I got positive. So my partner packed his luggage and went to a hotel just in case to not get affected. And short time later, someone called me actually, but that time I didn't have any voice, so I could not really talk to him. I just whispering the whole time like, 네, 알겠습니다, or something like that. But still, he kind of tried to get along with me, even we spoke in Korean. And some of the parts that he said, I really didn't understand, because if you were in a different country and they suddenly put some diseases or some symptoms in another language to you, I guess most of you also would be really confused, because we usually don't learn like a coughing or something like that, like symptom words, or shivering. I mean, in English now I know, just because of Corona and because I'm in Korea, and I have to talk to my partner also in English. So sometimes I know the words in Korean, sometimes I know the words in English. That guy actually also said something about the TETEC rules, but that in detail I don't know, because that time I told him like, you can just contact my partner and explain him because he's a Korean. So later they both talked to each other. And also my partner asked him about if he's positive, what he should do. I mean, the day when I got confirmed positive and he took his bag, he got first some PCR test. And his PCR test was negative. That's why he stayed in the hotel. And actually later he also got some symptoms, so I gave him some test kit before he left. And on the test kit he was positive, and the next day when he got tested with a PCR test, he was also positive. So 3 days later, actually, we quarantined together. About the quarantine. So quarantine, everybody know we cannot leave our house, especially if you are positive and you have symptoms, you need some medicine. So part one is the medicine. Actually, I had to pay my first medicine because the time that I went to the doctor and got my positive test from the test kit, not the PCR test, I had to pay my medicine. If you, as soon as you get medicine after you get positive by a PCR test, your medicine will be paid. So you don't have to pay anything. The only case is if you take it by delivery, which usually you have to, or you just ask your friends to drop it at your house door. But in our case, because we both got positive and I didn't have any medicine left from the beginning, my partner called a doctor. The doctor just asked us what symptoms we have, if we have any allergies. Like, he was really detailed. I was really happy that he asked really much things. Also, my husband explained about my medicine that I took till now, and also what symptoms I have, what diseases I have, what allergies I have. So they gave us medicine. That medicine we didn't have to pay, but the delivery we had to pay. But that was also several thousand, so it was not that much. Short time after we had to quarantine, actually I first had to fill some form that they send you in KakaoTalk usually, which says like, with whom do you live, where do you live, where will you quarantine, and that kind of things. But usually, especially if you are used to order something in Korea, and that ordering system, like if you know your house name, that is the most easiest. You just search for your house name and just click it. And you have to type your room number. That's the only thing that is missing in that case. But that is one thing that you have to do. But also, did the person that you live with already got tested? Or did the person you live with is still living with you? Are you able to stay alone? Or if you stay in a Goshiwon, they take you with some ambulance car and drive you to a facility. My other point that I wanted to share is what you can eat, how you get some delivery or something like that. So actually we just managed it to order some groceries from some GS25 because we didn't need that much and we just wanted to have it fast. So I ordered some water from GS25, and for lunch or dinner we often just cooked what we had at home in the fridge, or asked the delivery people to just drop it in front of our door. There is a, maybe I can put that here from Yogiyo. You just can click that. That means they put it in front of your house door. So usually that is not an issue. Some tips in quarantine, what you should eat. The funniest thing that I heard was, if you, especially the second or the third day, where most people feel the worst, if you really feel like you don't have any power, just order samgyeopsal or some meat. I don't know why it helped, but actually it was really good. Like when even I eat just a really small portion, like maybe like 6 or 7 slices of samgyeopsal, that's small slices of samgyeopsal, actually I felt much better. I had more power, and also it feels more easy, like I didn't feel so sick anymore that day. And what my boss actually recommended me, and I'm really glad for that, is you should drink some sports drink. Sports drink in Korea is at Powerade or Gatorade, but I really don't like that kind of things. So I drink Toreta. That is Toreta. I actually am a really fan of that because the first times that I traveled in Korea, then I found that and I was like, some of my friends said it doesn't taste as plain as water, especially if you don't want to drink water, or if you have really weird taste in your mouth, then that is much better than water. So I didn't know that it is a sports drink, but if you have Corona, maybe if you don't like that Gatorade or Powerade or want something additionally, then you just can buy Toreta. For the end of the quarantine, I actually tried, I think the 3 days before I ended quarantine, I actually tried to get more medicine. So I got like a 2 or 3 days after quarantine still medicine. That one was also for free. Now, since I'm out of quarantine, yesterday I got new medicine, but that one is not free. So as soon as your quarantine is over, it is not free anymore. Please remember, if you're out of quarantine, doesn't mean that you cannot infect other people. In just a really low amount of people cases, it is still possible to infect others. So even you are required, like me, to go to office, you should always wear the mask, and you should always sanitize your hands and try to stay away from people, like from a distance perspective, still that they can feel protected.